So, Coach, good to have you back again.
Good to be back.
This is easier on this side than it's going to be certainly for Dwayne and company to try and stay in this series.
It is with the way Cleveland is going right now. And LeBron is playing that, well, he's putting up historical numbers and doesn't look like he's going to slow down anytime soon.
Well, it's a triple header. We'll get to our game that we're leading into, the first one today. But let's take a look around the NBA as we get a glimpse of what else is going on. The Kelly on Kelly crime turns into Oubre being suspended for game number 4. What will all of this angst lead to? And the angst for the Rockets, nobody but Harden getting it done in game 3 in the second half. He scored 30 points, almost 60% of the points, had only 2 assists. They lose. Assists or points, neither for Kyle Lowry, now officially ruled out, didn't play in game 3. DeRozan had a great game with 37, a career playoff high, but it wasn't nearly enough. This is the domination over the last 5 playoff meetings, and clearly everything in the favor of the Cavaliers. And you add the 49-25 rebound difference, which was big in game number 3. Here's Kyrie of the Cavaliers on closing out Toronto.
He's playing just unbelievable basketball right now, just at an extremely high level, very efficient as well, and just making all of us better. When he's playing at the level, we're a tough team to beat, man. He's leading us right now. He's continued to do that throughout the regular season, just doing MVP stuff, and he's already an MVP, but he's just raising his game to another level, and I think that we continue to just marvel at it.
Well, Rick, we've offered $100 to anybody who can find a way to somehow contain LeBron. When he's playing the way he is, as free as he is, and shooting from beyond the arc the way he is, how could you even contain him?
It's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate for the Raptors because they had high hopes heading into this series. Having played them last year, seeing what he can do, knowing the animal and the beast that he can turn into, which you hope it's not against you at that moment, but he is shooting the ball at a higher clip than we've known him to this season. It's all at the right time. It's obviously gotten to the level where he's shooting these type of shots using his left. I don't think he's taunting the opponent, but he is extremely comfortable. And when you're that comfortable, it leads to a list of things we've seen him do, from the beer to the spinning of the ball to there's no fear and no threat from the Raptors. They're not posing it. They're not presented a front to stop him, let alone contain him.
You know, Coach, we've seen Kevin Love step up. We've seen a lot of rebounds from he and Tristan, second chance points. Outside of LeBron, if you're sitting there, you're Dwayne Casey, how do you try and draw up a game plan? What are you drawing up to try and slow LeBron down?
Well, the problem that you have is that not only is he shooting the ball well from 3, he's shooting, he's 82% from the foul line. So you used to be able to foul him and hope that he missed some of the foul shots. But the other guys are just stepping up big also. But LeBron is just creating so much space between the opponent and the shot that he's real comfortable. And if he's going to make the 3-point shot at the clip that he's making them, then you're really into a bind, because any closer, he's going to drive right around you. And that's when you get the other guys involved in the game.
You know, a lot of times, Rick, I know we've sat during the course of the year, you look at that 3-point, and you look at the stats between the teams, it makes the difference. Look how well the Cavs have shot from 3. Meanwhile, Toronto, 2 out of 18 from 3-point land in game 3. If you've got no Kyle Lowry and the Cavs are shooting like this, you have to be, at worst, equally as good beyond the arc. 2 out of 18 is not going to go.
Well, or you better be getting to the free throw line. You have to make it up somewhere. And with the percentages at the rate they're racking them up now, it's not just LeBron. Yes, he's leading the charge, but he's not the notorious best 3-point shooter on that team. You're looking at Kyle Lowry, J.R. Smith. There's about 4 or 5 of those guys just from those numbers alone. Darren Williams joins in there with the highest percentage out of the whole group. So they have too many options. Kevin Love shoots it. And when you're unselfishly moving the ball the way he is setting the tone for that team, yeah, they're just chasing them, and it's too late.
You know, look, down the stretch of the season, for anybody who watched Toronto, Coach, they played well without Kyle Lowry. DeMar DeRozan stepped things up. He did it after a rough game 2 with game 3, scored 37 points. But did you notice him tiring late in the game? What happened in the fourth quarter, and did he get enough from his friends?
Well, he didn't get enough from his friends, number one. I think he did everything that he possibly could, had a big game, took the ball to the basket, made jumpers, but you have to have someone else step up. You got to have someone else that's going to come up with some baskets. Valanciunas did okay, but you got to have more perimeter scoring. Patterson, someone else is going to have to step up and knock some shots down.
At the deadline, when they brought in, Rick, P.J. Tucker, and they brought in Serge Ibaka, a lot of us thought, and I did, Toronto did a better job than anybody. They really brought the exact pieces they would need for this kind of series. What haven't you seen that you need to see from those guys, especially without Lowry on the floor?
Well, I got to, you start with the health. I mean, the health is not there, right? And then as we look at who they're matched up against, the matchup is just a poor matchup for them. They haven't found, even with the additions of Ibaka and Tucker, who you thought would be able to mix up the coverage when it comes to a guy like LeBron. LeBron is not fazed by either one of them, let alone their team's defensive approach. So, they're shell-shocked right now. They're without one of their leaders, the key leader and point guard, and Kyle Lowry. And it's unfortunate because I too, was high on the moves. I, too, was high on what I thought the potential for this team was heading into these playoffs, and it just hasn't been realized.
All right, Coach, take me inside the room. I don't think necessarily a rah-rah speech is going to make them a better team than Cleveland, especially without Kyle Lowry. But if you're sitting there, you're looking at these guys before this tip, what are you saying before?
I think right now it's just a matter of pride. You got to talk about pride. Obviously, you don't want to get swept at home. All of those things enter into it. You got to talk about competing at a real high level, making them continue to make shots. But you have to, the pride thing has to come into play right now. You don't want to get embarrassed at home. You don't want to walk off that court being swept in a game that you're not even involved in. So I think that's the speech that you'll hear from Dwayne Casey today.